Last week I built my garden and boy, I was so proud of myself. So this week the goal is to get it lined with plastic, divided into sections and get a good start on getting it filled. This is where we're at. One lovely empty raised garden bed. Where I live, the most common thing we use to build a raised garden bed are treated sleepers. This is what they look like. They are CCA treated pine sleepers. CCA stands for copper, chrome, arsenate. And the first question everyone asks is, hang on, that's got arsenic in it. Is it going to be safe to use in our vegetable garden? And the short answer is yes. Arsenic is naturally found in water, soil, and food anyway. I didn't know that until recently, and that kind of blew my mind a little bit. And the thing is that any amount of arsenic that may potentially leach out of the timber into the soil and then into our vegetables is going to be less than the amount of arsenic that is already naturally found in the environment. I have made a separate little video just talking about this product, so I will put a link to that at the end of this video. So I'm going to keep this bit of conversation about it short, because basically all we want to know is that it's safe to use. If it was just me eating the vegetables that I was going to grow in here, I wouldn't worry about it. That is how confident I feel after doing my research. But because if you're a regular, you'll know that I have a beautiful bearded dragon as a pet, and because so many of the products that I'm going to be growing will be eaten by Slump, I just don't want to expose her to anything extra in any way. So while they might be safe for us, I just want to take that extra precaution. So I'm going to line my bed with plastic, and that's what we're doing right now. If you're going to line your garden bed with plastic, there are a few options you can use. You can buy a roll of plastic sheeting. I don't think it's too expensive. You could also use empty plastic bags, like bags from your potting mix or your garden mulch or something like that. That way you're not putting that plastic into the waste bin, just going straight to the tip. Or you can see what you can source for free. These sheets of plastic I got from Bunnings Hardware. You go out to the section where they keep all of their pavers, and in between the layers of pavers there are these plastic sheets, which Bunnings are more than happy to give away because they only go to landfill. To keep my plastic in place while I'm trying to fill my garden, I am just going to use a good old staple gun and staple the plastic sheeting to the inside of the garden bed. So that's what it should look like after you've finished lining it. You can overlap at the bottom a little bit to stop any soil escaping where you might have a bit of a low point in the ground and there's a bit of a gap under your frame. But if you make a mistake and you don't cut it long enough, no worries at all. Next step in the garden project is something that I like to do, but for you it is an optional extra. When I've got a big garden space like this, I like to divide it into smaller sections for two reasons. Different plants like different amounts of water, so I can group together the ones that like a lot of water every day, and I can group together the ones that like a bit less water. The other big thing is that when the big garden is divided into smaller sections, I can rotate my crops like a real farmer and always have one plot one plot empty, and then I can just put my compost scraps directly into the garden, dig them through, and they mulch down really well because I've done it before. So what I've decided to do is, do you remember my old raised garden bed made out of Colorbond? That is the front panel of the old raised garden bed that I demolished. I'm going to cut that into sections, and I'm going to use that to put dividers in the garden. It doesn't need to be a permanent fixture because once the garden's filled with dirt, the dividers will stay there anyway. To cut ColourBond is easier than you think. You get a little thing, this little thing here is called a nibbler. It attaches to your electric drill just like a drill bit, and when you squeeze the trigger, there's a little thing in here that goes up and down really fast, and it nibbles at the ColourBond and it cuts the ColourBond. It's a little bit hard, it's very noisy, and it takes a while. I've actually made a full-on video about how to use one of these things, so if you're interested, watch out for the link. I'll put the link down in the description. I have put the dividing panels in. They're just precariously balanced there with a little bit of dirt propping them up. Once the garden's full, they will firmly stay in place. I'm going to take the rubble from the old garden bed, the partly mulched down grass and twigs and sticks and branches, and the composted dirt on the bottom, and I'm going to put that on the bottom. I'm going to use cardboard. I've got a bale of mulch. And at any moment I'm expecting a delivery of premium garden mixture. So I'm pretty much ready to go. The mulched down stuff that's coming out of the bottom of this old garden, it's just beautiful. It's got lots of little creepy crawlies in it. I saw a little bug here a minute ago with lots of legs. Chock full of worms. Absolutely beautiful. So that's what happens when you throw your natural things into your garden and let them compost down. Look, there's another worm. Hello, little worm. So there we go, garden is full. I am so exhausted, I just can barely even put a sentence together. There's no way I could have got all that done today. I'm so grateful that my son helped me. I'm going to leave it sit there now for a week, maybe 2 weeks, depending on how much, if we get rain and if I hose it in, just so that all the dirt settles down and all those pockets of air are filled with soil. The next time you see me, it will be time to put some little plants in the garden. I'm very excited about that. So until I see you next time, have a great week. I hope you've enjoyed the progress of my garden, and keep watching because every day is a great day at home with Karen. I haven't said that for a while, have I? I am so exhausted. I can't even think properly. See you next time.